What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and welcome to this week, maybe this month. I don't know how often I'm going to be making these videos, but welcome to the wand review video, where I'm going to go over your guys' creations that you guys have been sending me for the past couple weeks, and everybody's been asking me when this video is coming out, and I keep saying, oh, it'll be soon. It'll be coming out soon. Well, here it is, and hopefully you guys end up enjoying this. I'm gonna be going over a ton of stuff, wands that you guys made / drawings that you guys made. So therefore, go get yourself a drink, a coffee, whatever you want to drink, a tea, an energy drink, some water. That's always a healthy alternative. Water. I recommend some water. Speaking of which, I need some water. I ran out of my water. So, I'm dying. You guys have been sending me pictures of your wands for New Wands Day, and I decided to, instead of incorporating, I just got too many, basically. So I'm going to be going over them in separate videos. I'm going to be cutting back. I'm not going to be doing it every week just because I want to be able to do other things as well as wand stuff. I don't want to just be stuck doing wand things. So the next couple of weeks, it may slow down a little bit on the wand stuff because I still want to be able to create wands, but then to be able to also make the videos makes it a lot harder. So I'm going to just cut back a little bit, probably every other week or something like that. So enjoy this one while it's here. And like I said, this one's going to be a long one. So, and if you guys want to submit your wands, send it to the email that's on the screen right now that I always tell you guys every week, newwandsday@gmail.com. So I look forward to seeing those. And if I did not go over your wand in this video, if you want, you could send it again. I may go over it or I may not. No promises, all right? No promises. So don't be getting mad at me if I don't. Anyway, let's start off by jumping back a bit and going to this wand submitted by YH Wizard. And I believe you've made a couple of different wands. This one's pretty cool. It's it looks a lot like the Pottermore wand. One of the Pottermore wands, the one with the braid around the handle. Looks good. I wish I could see some more detail of it. A lot of work was put into that carving, so it does. Just nice job. Nice job. We're gonna be going over these pretty quickly. This next wand was submitted by I don't know who, but I have a few pictures here, and it looks like what it is a deer antler. According to the notes on here, it's a deer antler. I don't know how much carving was actually done for it, or just sanding. It looks cool. I would make the handle, and I would probably make the whole thing a bit thinner just to make it more wand-esque, to make it look less like an antler or a basilisk tooth, which is what you were going for. It doesn't look like a tooth. It definitely looks like an antler. But it looks cool. The idea is great. I wish I could get my hands on some antlers so I could make some wands with them. That's definitely like something in the future that I definitely want to make. So this next one was submitted by our good friend Michael Ferrari. So first thing I see at this is, obviously this is a big joke, right? So there's gears that connect the wand together. There's a lighter tip at the end. There's a gas tank. So it's like a flamethrower wand. I'm assuming skull eyes, a ruby, shoots flames. This is just a joke. So yeah, nice job, Mike. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get right on making this guy. Freaking you crazy boy. All right, so this next one was submitted by Lee. So it's weird because your style of wands is very they're very thick. They're very thick wands. They don't have that lean wand Harry Potter shape basically to them. So it definitely doesn't have that Harry Potter feel to them. I'm also not sure how long they actually are. The drawings that you did, it said 11 and 12 inches. I would definitely shrink the circumference of the wand itself a bit more. The handle could probably stay as thick as you made. I would probably reduce the circumference of the actual wand tips on all of these. The one furthest to the right looks pretty good when it comes to like a traditional wand, but I would definitely say the other two, if you reduce them a little bit, they'll look more like wands, because right now they look like stubby wands almost. Again, if that's what you were going for, that's not a big deal. I always say in these videos that my opinion isn't law, it's just what I think. And if you guys love your wands that you've made, that's not a problem. I'm not saying that your wands are wrong. I'm just saying what I would change to give it more of my style. Um, and I mean, other than that, they're cool wands. You did a nice job. Here we have a wand submitted by Spider-Man. Um, and this one kind of falls under that same thing that the last wands that I just talked about, where it's very, very thick. It's a very thick wand. A lot of people, when they start making wands, they make them very thick for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like when you start carving, you feel like it could be thicker, and then you look back at it, and you're like, man, that doesn't look how I originally imagined it, or maybe it did. But I feel like this wand falls under that same thing. It should be a little bit thinner. I don't know what that handle's made out of. I don't know if it's wrapped with like something. The picture's kind of out of focus, but yeah, I would definitely make at least the shaft and the tip a little bit skinnier. I'm not a fan though of pointy tips. That's one thing. I feel like the tip should be slightly rounded. Here we have a wand submitted by Parker. One thing that I don't like about this is that you're saying that it's 6.5 inches long. That is way too short for a traditional wand. It'll look like half of a wand, if anything. I'm not sure if these black lines on here are supposed to be like a wrap, like a string or something like that, or if it's supposed to be engraved. But the idea is cool. Again, it's way too short. I'm not sure what the tip is here, if it should be bent like that. I wouldn't bend it like that. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to have a weak spot there, and it's going to be much more likely to break. And you don't want that, or even like just kind of poke yourself. Now we go back to another submission by Merlin, the master wand maker. You've been submitting stuff like pretty much every week, and I like looking at your stuff. All right, so in this one, you submitted 2 wands. One wand is very reminiscent of my style of wands, which I like. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's extremely long, which I know you have your sniper wands. That's why you make them longer. It doesn't make sense to me, your logic behind that, but I'll give it to you. All right, it's a cool idea. Whatever, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of it though. And then this other one, you have two different types of woods here, and that must have been hard to glue up. I'm assuming that's 2 different types of wood. I believe it is. It must have been pretty hard to glue up. And not a big fan of the skinny tip at the end there, because I've had some issues with some wands where I made it too thin and it made a weak spot, and they've broken before, which it's always a bummer. You put all that work in and then something breaks, and it sucks. So that's the only thing I don't like about that one, is that tip. The shape is very unique. It would be tough to put it like in a pocket or something like that. But other than that, very nice. And then here we have a submission by Noita. I'm not sure how to say your name. I really like that one furthest to the right, underneath that hook-shaped one, or whatever that is. That's probably my favorite one out of all of those. It also looks the most finished. The rest of the wands don't look like they're fully finished. They look like they're about halfway done. But that is the most wand-esque shape out of all of these. And also that one with the skull on it is pretty cool too. Not a big fan of skull wands. I'll probably never make like a traditional skull wand. Maybe like a different animal, like an animal skull or something like that. That would probably be pretty cool on a wand. But I would never probably put a human skull on any wand. But yeah, those are those wands. Now here we have 2 submissions by Carson, and very simple designed wands. This first one right here is very nice. I like it. I don't know if you do have some string tied in there. Really like that. I did that with one of my wands where I had the groove, and the string was going through the groove. I like that idea. You just gotta be careful that you don't accidentally break that string or something like that. Definitely looks really like it. It definitely looks really like it. This next one, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like after I saw the other one that you've made, you could have made this one better. You could have added in some more detail to make it a little bit more interesting. It's not bad at all whatsoever, but it's just it's a little too simple. I feel like if you tapered the end a little bit more, made it less just one solid thickness all the way through, it may have added a little bit more, made it look more like a wand as opposed to the bark just taken off of it. Um, those are my thoughts on that one. And like I said, especially looking at the other one and how much work was put into that other one, I feel like this one you got a little lazy and you didn't do as well as you could have. And now we have a submission from Connor. I really like this wand. It's a simple design, but it looks like a lot of it was hand carved. Just because if you look at those that bottom, those little ribs all the way going all the way down the handle, they're not perfect, which I always like seeing. When something doesn't look perfect, you always know that it was a little bit more effort was put into it. Because if you put that on the lathe and you just chop it up, there's a time and a place for that. If you want something to look machined, obviously you're gonna use a lathe. You're gonna try to make every line perfect. But I always feel like wands should have a little bit of imperfections to it, because that's what kind of gives each wand its character. That's what gives each wand, even though certain wands are very unique from other wands, you still want to give it a bit of just personality with little mistakes here and there. Whenever I'm making a wand, I always you always make mistakes no matter what. But sometimes I'll make a mistake and I leave the mistake. I don't want to fix it because I like it better that way. Sometimes you have a little crack or a little like notch banged out of it or something like that by accident. It makes it look like the wand was worn and used and actually has gone through some things. Because realistically, wooden wands, if you start banging them around and there's no sort of charm to protect them, they're gonna get damaged. They're gonna get damaged in a way that can't be repaired. So I always like little imperfections, and that's what's cool about this one. It looks like it's actually made out of a pretty dense wood, so it probably feels really good. I'm not sure how long it is. I'm not sure if they stated here exactly. Yeah, 13 and 3/4, and it's made out of, where is this? All right, and this next wand was submitted by Thomas, I think, from Czech Republic. It's always exciting to see subscribers and see that you guys are from like all over the world. I know that my wands have been shipping to like weird places that I never thought they would, and I never thought that people would actually watch me, talking about wands and dumb stuff on YouTube. So it's always exciting and very, it's very nice to see that, there's people everywhere that like my stuff. I don't know. These are really cool. So these are mostly made, it looks like, according to them, with wood and 3D printed wood filament, which is really cool. I really, really like Newt's wand on here. I think it looks super cool. I wish the picture was a little bit better quality so I could see more of it. So it looks like from left to right we have Voldemort's wand, we have Newt, and then we have two illuminating wands. And then we have Draco's all the way to the right. But Newt's just looks super cool. I love that green. I have to make a wand that has some green and stuff in it. I don't think I have any wands that have anything like that. I need to experiment with a little bit of color, a little bit some more. That makes sense. Man. But that Voldemort's wand just looks like very cool. I like that one too. It kind of looks like a shoe, like a high heel shoe. But yeah, nice job. All right, so and now we have a submission by Chris, which is it's just a bunch of wands. I'm gonna have to say that these are definitely not my style of wands. I would say the second one down is the only one that has more of a traditional style wand design, and I would say out of all of these, that's probably my favorite one. The other ones are just too. I'm gonna have to say a little gaudy. The blue one is very dangerous. How are you supposed to hold that and not like stab yourself? The craftsmanship is very good. You did a nice job. It's very creative, but I would have to say that You got some dangerous wands here on your hand, all right? Especially these skeleton ones. Those look dangerous. The one all the way to the bottom looks like it has some blood in it, and it looks like it possibly has metal wire wrapped all the way around it, holding it together, which is a cool idea. I definitely like that idea. Um, but it just looks scary. You got some scary ideas here, man. And now on this submission, I'm gonna have to say you were a little lazy. Um, you didn't put a lot of effort into this one, but as long as the wand works, that's all that matters, right? It doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect. But it looks like you took some electrical tape and you wrapped it around a branch from a tree. Um, it says here your name is please don't mention my name. So please don't mention my name. You were a little lazy, all right? So you should go and try it again. But nice job anyway. It's the effort that counts. It's the thought and the effort and the idea and the fact that you put time into this. That's all that matters. So at first glance, right? Okay, what do we got? 6 wands. I'm gonna say the first one that grabs my attention is that middle one, that gray little stubby middle one. I don't know. I don't know why. It almost reminds me of like stone. I really like it. The only thing that I would change for it, I would make it a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long it is, but I would make it probably like 12 inches or something like that. But I would also make it a little bit thinner. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like if you make a wand too fat, which isn't wrong, right? If you make a wand too fat, it's not wrong because I've seen some crazy official Harry Potter wands that are just like ridiculously ugly and fat. Which I guess is a thing. Some of the ones that are made are just really fat and ugly, but that one doesn't look ugly. And I don't know. I like the proportions of it, but if it was just a little bit longer, then you would also have to make it a little bit thinner because if you expanded the whole thing, again, really like that design though. I love those like little cutouts on it, and then the burned edges makes those flats like really pop a lot. Really like that one. Honestly, all of these wands look really cool. Um, yeah, they all look really nice. I would say that that centered curled one is probably the least finished out of all of them, but I think that's mostly because it looks like that because there isn't a lot of color to it. I'm not sure if you did add a little bit of color, and that's why part of it is white and the other part is more of like a beige wood color. Um, but the top two are nice. They're traditional style wands. You do use, it looks like you do use a bit of burning on there, which is nice. I always use burning too for certain things. The bottom one looks really cool. Looks like bone. I don't know what type of wood that is. If you want to let me know down below what type of wood you use for that bottom one and that center one that I like, that like gray one, or if that's paint. All right, so this next one was submitted by Hayden, and it, according to them, it's not finished, and this is their first attempt. So for your very first attempt, very, very good. If you want to make it look a little bit more finished, you could always try to add in a little bit of a finish on there, sand it down a little bit more to get like those sharp edges from carving out of it. I think that would help get some more of those sharp edges. And I think you said it's made out of sycamore. Here's what I love about sycamore is that it's a soft wood. So hand carving it's probably one of the easier woods to actually hand carve, and you can actually cut through it and not put a lot of pressure. You mentioned that you're going to try to make another wand with some different types of wood. The only issue that you may have there is that some of the other woods are going to be a lot harder. Like take purple heart. If you ever try to make something with that or any really hard wood, you're going to have a lot of trouble cutting. That's why I use a Dremel for a lot of stuff. But I'm not sure what you were going for on this wand. I'm not sure if you wanted to cut out more of those parts that you actually carved out, like the tip and that center in between that notch and the other notch. But if you were trying to cut that out thinner, or if you were just trying to make it rounded like that, you could always go in a little bit thinner, and it'll make it pop a little bit better. So if you make the handle could stay the same size, but if you make that part where it tapers down, maybe make it taper a little bit more, or even maybe make it instead of taper it, make it go straight across, like it looks like the pointy end, the shaft is going through it, and it's going through that other part. It's hard to explain exactly what I'm talking about, but that may add a little bit of a pop. Maybe you can add a little like some runes or something, or some wood burning to the handle. Another thing, you could just stain it. You could just stain the handle and that center piece a different color, but be really gentle with the stain, or even paint. You could use like an acrylic paint, but then after you did that, I would probably do like a clear varnish over it or something like that, just to protect the paint and keep it in there. That's what I do with most of my wands like this. If I paint, like I painted this black with acrylic paint, but there's a clear protective cover over it, just to keep the paint sealed in there. So if you lick it or get it wet, it doesn't it doesn't rub off the paint, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't rub off the paint. So that's what I would recommend. Nice job with the wand, and I look forward to seeing your next wands that you make. And now we have Jariah's wand that he submitted, which I ended up making, which is this one right here. So let's just move on to the next one. Okay, so now we have, oh man, we still got a lot. Nico's wand that he submitted, or she submitted, I'm not sure. And it's very simple. It's a stick, a branch it looks like. I'm not sure. It looks decently long. I love that effect of the partial carving of the bark off of the wood. It looks really cool. I would put a stain on that very, very white wood, just to kind of give it a protective, some sort of protective coating on there, just because it looks too much like a branch. I'm not a big fan of branch looking wands. If you're going to use a branch, you have to create something with that branch. It can't just be like, hey, this is a branch wand. There's a lot of them out there, so it's the simplest way to make a wand, granted, all right? It's the easiest way that you could possibly make a wand. Not this. You put some work into this. You did carve it out. And it sucks, right? When you get into one of those knots or something and you're trying to cut through it and it just gets caught. Yeah, that sucks. But you did a nice job. And I do love how this handle here looks. If you look at that detail on there, obviously it's from carving part of the bark off and leaving part of it on there. It looks really cool. I think if you did that maybe a little bit more, or if you just carved a little bit more around the edge of those to separate the handle from the pommel or whatever, and the blade of the wand, I think that would make it pop a little bit more. But still, nice job. I know it's a wand. That's all that really matters. If you ever make any more wands, submit those too. I'll check those out, let you know how it's going. So here we have 2 more wands submitted by, let's see who this is, James. All right, so these 2 were submitted by James. We have another one here that is, this one looks a lot like one of the other ones. Again, guys, this is what I always say. You can see that a lot of people do that handle bark and then carve out the end and make the wand that way. If you look at Newt Scamander's wand, it has that same style. It almost looks like handle bark. Harry's wand, Ron's wand. There's a lot of wands out there that are like that, so a lot of people try to do the same thing. What's cool about Harry's wand, though, is that it actually ends at the end, and you don't see the inside of the tree. You only see the bark there, so it's like a ball of bark at the end, which you're not going to find. And then we look at this smaller one over here, and I really like that bark on that wood. That looks really good. So you have 2 of the same style of wands with the bark handles. I would say that I really like the second one better. The one on the right, the darker one, looks really, really cool. That bark, though, just looks like nice and sharp. I really like it. But I would say if you're going to make another one, if you're going to make more, I would say try to get out of that comfort zone. Don't stick to the same thing all the time, because that's what ends up happening is you make multiple wands the same style, and you end up getting stuck in that mindset of like, hey, this is how all the wands look. I always try to break out of my comfort zone. Every wand that I make, I make mistakes, and I learn new techniques every single wand. If I make one wand that's too similar to an old one, I just don't do it, basically. Just I always try to learn something new every single time I make a wand. Granted, you sent some pictures with your laptop in the background and you were watching my video, and when I saw, I was just like, oh my god, it's so weird to see my video in somebody else's house of me in the background, and I'm like, no, my god. But nice wands. I really like that second one though, and I like that white. I don't know what that white is. It almost looks like chalk, but like painted on somehow. I don't even know. All right, so this next one was submitted by Blake. And I really like it. It looks like you used a carving knife according to your notes, a Dremel, and a burning tool. Those are the main tools that I use as well. I would say the Dremel is my main one. A sander is probably my second one. So that's the one that does the most, the two that do the most work. One thing, guys, when you submit photos, make sure that you submit decently sized pictures, because these are very small photos. It looks like they're about 230 by 300. So it's really hard for me to tell like the detail on these. And even as you guys can tell on the video, it's probably hard for you guys to see too. But this is as big as I can make them without making them look all weird and ugly and stuff. But I really like this wand. It's very nice. It's just a simple design, but well executed. I like the burning. I like the grooves cut out into the handle. I like the blade part of the wand. It looks very nicely straight and stuff. So you did a very good job there. One of my favorites. So nice job, Blake. The next wand was submitted by Isaac, and I really like this wand. It came out very nice. It has, obviously some thought was put into it. You were saying that the wood definitely influenced what you were doing, and that is 100% true. Whenever you're working with wood, it's gonna always, man, this wood looks really nice. I really like these little flakes that are in it. I just completely lost my train of thought when I zoomed in on this. But yeah, I really like it. It almost looks like I don't know. It reminds me of like a dress or something like that. Or like a mermaid-esque type thing, like a mermaid fin minus the fin part at the end. But it's definitely tough. And I could tell that I could tell that the dremeling that you did, the lines aren't perfect, right? Because it's so tough to get those lines like perfectly straight. And also you have a lot of curves in there, curves that you were trying to keep equal on both sides. I can only imagine how tough that was to even like semi succeed in doing that. Every time I try to do stuff like that, I always like, you got to take so much time. I believe you said this took you about 10 hours, which sounds about right. That's about how long it would have probably taken me as well. It's a nice job. I'm not a big fan of that gem that you stuck on there. That's my only like gripe on it. That's really the only thing. Everything else is nice. One thing that you can try if you want to make those carvings pop a little bit more is one, I would put a clear finish over it, a nice strong clear finish over it. And then you could take a little bit of watered down acrylic. Once that's fully dry, take a little bit of watered down acrylic paint and just kind of dab it inside of all of those grooves, and then wipe it off right away so that just inside the grooves it stays in there. And that'll make those grooves more black. Or you can even do like a dark brown, like a black mixed with brown, and do that in the grooves. And that'll make them pop more if you want to do that without actually getting into the grain of the wood. But I would definitely put a finish on it first to protect the grain, because you're basically just trying to fill in those the carvings and not actually the grain. If you just go directly onto the grain, you're gonna ruin the wood, and it's gonna absorb all that paint, and it's gonna just change color completely. So keep that in mind. Make sure you protect it. Maybe try it on a separate piece of wood, a leftover that you have first, and see how it does and see how it looks before you actually do it on your actual wand. Let's bring it back to Jackson, which he submitted another wand, and also classic paper towel background. Very nice. Bringing it back. I see that. I like this wand. Again, simple bark design on the handle. It's not actually bark. It looks like you just added a finish on it. It looks like probably walnut or something like that. I didn't actually read your full notes on here. Let's see if you say what it is. I can't tell. No, no. Okay. So I'm going to go with that's probably like a walnut, a dark walnut. And that was a branch. It's a simple design, but it looks good. Definitely has that Newt Scamander style shape to the wand, which any wand that is a cone shaped with a tapered edge like this at the handle and is very skinny and long, that's that Newt Scamander style. And then if you cut out the end and you drill a hole in there, that's as you basically just ripped off Newt Scamander. But I really like this wand. You have all those engravings in there. I always like those. Dremeled that out. Sure, that was hard. They're always tough to do. I found that if you use a hardwood to engrave, it's usually easier because the Dremel doesn't want to slip as much, and it also doesn't eat into it as much. So it's kind of like that middle ground. You got to find the right blade speed. By blade, I mean Dremel bit speed. And then you also have to find the right pressure, the right angle. There's a lot to it to get those lines to go straight. I'm sure that you've figured it mostly out. I'm still figuring it out too. But nice job. I like it. If I didn't show your pictures today, just go back and see if the pictures that you sent were really small. Just because I don't want to waste everybody's time looking at little pictures. All right, so this next wand was submitted by Connor, that same Connor that we mentioned before that made a very nice wand. This one's made out of Poplar, 14 inches, dragon heartstring, supple flexibility, and I like it. I definitely really like it. I like the spiral around and then all the little divots for the spiral. Very, very cool, very nice. It's simple, good. Like, here's the thing. When I say simple, I don't mean it's simple in a bad way. I mean, a lot of times when I say simple, it's just simple. It's a simple design, straight, has a lot of nice detail. I like that you put a stain on it and then kind of sanded some of that stain away to make those little divots that you made pop a little bit more. A very nice touch on there. There's really nothing bad to say about this wand. I like it. I would, if it was my wand, I'd be happy with it. So a nice job once again, Connor. The next few wands were submitted by Wands by HW Studios, which is an Etsy shop as well. So if you guys want to go check them out or him out, go and do that. So all right. So let's start off with the actual design itself. The design is good of all these wands. I really like all of these wands. The only thing is it falls into that category of the fat wands, right? So if you guys have been watching this from the beginning, then you will know that I've already criticized that a few times, where I've said that the wand is good, but it's too fat. I would say that all of these designs would look good would look better, I would say, if they were just a bit thinner, because that's just my style. I mean, if you like the fat wands, then you like the fat wands. It's not a big deal. You have more wood. They probably feel stronger. They're definitely sturdier. So if you're going to be like beating people over the head with them, you probably would want something more like that. But if you want something delicate, then I would recommend reducing the thickness of the wands. Kind of just in general, like all of your wand designs, I would just reduce them a bit just to make them a little bit thinner. And I think that will it's going to be a little bit more challenging to carve. I don't know why I'm talking all weird. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to carve, but I think it'll just make everything look a little bit better. So go check them out on Etsy. It was, what was it? Wands by HW Studios. So go do that. All right, so this next one is a sketch of a few different wands. I would say that the only one that really falls under wand category for these, I would say, is C. The other ones, they're not really, they don't look like wands. If you made them out of wood, they would probably be more like wands. Though D, I would definitely not make that hook at the end, because that's going to be a very, very weak spot. And it's going to break most definitely, depending on the thickness of the wand. And if I were to make that, I would make it very thin. C, though, looks really good. And then you said that B looks a lot like one of my wands on the logo, which I'd have to disagree because these are my two wands from the logo. As you can see, they go like this. And I'm going to have to say that no, I don't. Maybe you think it looks a little bit like this one, but nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it does look cool. I think if you could make something like that, it may look good. I would not make it that pointy because it looks like an alien knife, a alien dagger or something like that, which looks cool. The drawings are cool, but I don't think it'll work as a wand. Now we have a wand submitted by I'm gonna try to say your name, man. Sorry if I mess it up. Marquez. Marquez. I think it's Marquez. I hope I got it right. And if you guys know me at all, you know that I don't like animal wands. You did a very good job with the animal design, so I'm gonna give you that. I love the color. I love the paint. I think you did a very good job there as well, especially the picture of the guard part of the wand. So the part where the handle meets the blade, I would definitely say that I love how that looks. It looks almost like nebulous. It looks like something like in space almost. I love the purple and the black and the it just looks good. That's my favorite part of the whole wand out of all the pictures. And yes, but again, I don't like the raven that you made on there. The raven itself looks fine, but I just don't like the bird designs and stuff like that. So the next wand was submitted by Sabrina, it looks like, and this is another one of that I'm gonna say is one of my favorites. One thing that I would change is, even though this is one of my favorite wands that have been submitted, one thing that I would change is that the very tip of the wand, the tip of the blade, the fact that it's like coming out of the other piece, it looks really cool. But what I would do is I would make that maybe come out halfway down or more towards the bottom, so that it's less looks like a pencil, unless you were going for like a pencil, because it looks like the tip of like a lead pencil or something like that coming out of the end. That's the only thing that I would say I would change. But I do love the design, and I do love that it is coming out of it. But like I said, I think I would go like maybe an inch off of, maybe an inch and a half off of where the ball is, and I would make the black part of it come all the way out from there. I love the gradient between the white and the brown. It just like, it looks so good. The paint, the swirl that you painted around it looks really good. It's just a nice design. I love how the bottom of it has that cutout, and then it's a different angle and it comes out straight. Very nice. It's a nice one, just a nice job. But again, the tip doesn't look bad. It's just, I feel like if it was different, I would have just done it differently. But I do like it. Maybe someday I'll make a wand that has the thing more at the bottom. I don't know. It's a cool idea though. I really like that one. And I think that paint job you did on it is stellar. Very nice job. The next one was submitted by John. And the wand is, I don't know what kind of wood that is, but that wood could result in some like crazy wands if I had some of that wood, which is very nice. I really like that, like natural, just, it looks like a snake. It legit just looks like you dropped a wooden snake on like the bed and took a picture of it. It doesn't look like a wand though, and I don't know which side is the handle and which side is the blade. I'm gonna start calling it that, by the way. The handle and the blade. I'm not gonna call it the shaft anymore because I feel very awkward saying shaft. So therefore, from now on, it's the handle, the blade, the pommel, and the guard. It's a sword. All right, that's what it is. That's just what it is. So very cool wood. I don't see the wand there, but I appreciate the idea, and it probably, depending on how long it is, would you say 16 inches long? So I'm gonna go with the squirrelier end is the handle, because that would mean that yeah, that would probably work out because it's so long. It would probably work out. They also submitted, which is really cool, some broomsticks that they made, which is cool. I want to get into making some broomsticks someday, but Yeah, let me know if you guys want me to try to make a broomstick of some kind, like my own design of broomstick or something like that. I think that'd be something cool to try. Um, Definitely cool. So the one in the middle was purchased. The ones on the right and the left were made. Um, I'm not sure how small you are, but I don't know if the one on the left is yours and the one on the right is somebody else's, or the one on the right is yours. The one on the left is like your kids or something. But depending on how big you are, nice job. Yeah, that about wraps it up, guys, for this super long. I don't even know how. I feel like I've been up here for probably like over an hour recording this. Um, so yeah, this is a long video. I don't look forward to editing this because there's going to be a lot of work forward coming up. So so if I showed your guys wands on here, thank you for submitting them. And if you guys are coming in here for the first time and watching this video, and you guys actually stayed this far into the video, I highly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around this far. And I do plan on doing more of these videos, but I'm gonna wait till we get a nice pile up of some more creations once again. I look forward to making some more of these. If you guys want to submit your creations, it doesn't have to be wands. It doesn't per se have to be Harry Potter related. If you made some cool, I don't know, cosplay stuff, I kind of want to open this up to any sort of nerdiness and cool fandom and stuff like that. So if you have like some Star Wars stuff, some cosplay stuff, whatever, submit it to, for now, submit it to newwansday at gmail.com. For now, that's the email that we're going to use for these. In the future, if we start doing some more stuff, we'll switch that around. And like I said, I'm probably not going to be making another one of these videos next week, but the following week, maybe, or maybe the week after that. It's going to kind of be random. So definitely stay notified. Join that notification squad. Be one of the fam. I don't know what we're going to call ourselves. So if you guys have any ideas for fam, I don't know what they're called, for like community, what we're going to call the community. So if you guys have any ideas for that, leave them down below. If you guys have any ideas for any future videos you want me to do, check out, whatever, let me know also down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to support us, jump over to the Patreon and join us on there. I do giveaways for patrons specifically. Also, they get exclusive videos and also some early access to certain things and some other benefits. So go check that out if you guys are interested. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking around this long. I can't believe that you did. Let me know if you did. Let me know if you actually stuck around this long by writing in the comment. Let's write, let's put in the comment, write in the comment, write blue cheese. That's what we're going to put in there. Blue cheese. I'm sure there's going to be like one of you that does that. So let's see how many of you can actually do it. And let's see who can do it first. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to go try to record something else right now. So hopefully we got some more stuff coming out later this week. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.